What is going on here? Alright, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another video, and if you're new here, well, welcome to the channel. My name is Derek from Simnett Nutrition, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about my experience juicing celery. I'm going to talk to you about all the benefits that I got from it, some of the negative side effects that I got from it, and why I suddenly stopped. So it's a really popular thing right now. A lot of people are jumping on board juicing celery and claiming that it has all these incredible health benefits, basically that it saved their lives. So we're going to talk about that, and then I'm going to talk to you guys about my experience doing it, and then I'm going to show you guys how to make celery juice using a blender without having to use a juicer. So in case you don't have a juicer at home and you want to try this, so it should be fun. I'm going to jet home now, and we'll talk more about this when I get home. So many of you guys will know Anthony Williams, the guy who made this so popular. He also goes by Medical Medium, and he is got a very interesting story. If you don't know about him, definitely check him out. And I'm not going to be talking a lot about him in this video. I just want to be talking about like the celery juice and mainly my experience with it. But it does have some outrageous claims, and coming from his website, it says 16 ounces of celery juice on an empty stomach can bring you relief and healing from all kinds of acute and chronic illnesses and symptoms, including digestive issues, skin conditions, migraines, fatigue, autoimmune illnesses, brain fog, and hundreds of others. So while I couldn't find any scientific evidence to back those claims, because there's really not any science on celery juicing in humans on an empty stomach, you can definitely find tons and tons, thousands of testimonials on his website and on his Instagram of people that have healed their bodies through celery juicing and some of his other methods. So I definitely thought it was like worth trying for myself and looking into a little bit deeper. So I'll leave a link to Anthony's website down in the description box below and his article on celery juicing so you can read it for yourself. But basically the way that he says that it works is that celery has some special salts in it, and what those salts do is they bind to and eliminate toxins and heavy metals from the liver, and they also help to build up our body's own hydrochloric acid and bile salts. So that's all well and good, but what does the science say? So I went looking, and as I mentioned, there was no scientific literature like specifically on juicing celery, but there is lots of stuff about celery out there. So I didn't go, into huge depth, researching celery. I just looked at some of the main articles that sort of relate to what we're talking about here. So one thing that we do know about celery is that it is full of phytosterols. Phytosterols are a anti-inflammatory compound that's found in like many different vegetables and fruits, and probably grains, beans, nuts, and legumes too. It would make sense that this would help to soothe and ease the digestive tract and like reduce inflammation in there, and along with a lot of other organs in our body. So yeah, I could definitely see how this would improve our health. So celery is also full of electrolytes. So we know that electrolytes are made up of minerals like magnesium and potassium, which are really good for the body, so you'll be getting those in the celery juice as well. And then beyond celery being anti-inflammatory, it's also known for being antifungal and also antibacterial as well. So when you consider like all these different things, it's definitely looking pretty good for celery juice. So what did I experience on the celery juice? So I should preface this by saying I didn't start taking celery juice because I had any ill health that I wanted to like fix or cure or anything like that. Like I simply wanted to add it to my already healthy diet to make my already good body feel even better, if that's possible. And I could always use a little bit of help with my digestion. I've always struggled with digestive issues since I was a very young child. So any help is always welcome, especially doing it in a helpful way, like having celery juice in the morning. So my first experience with celery juice, I get up in the morning, I make the juice, a huge glass of it, I drink about half of it down, and then my stomach starts to gurgle and it starts to rumble. I run to the bathroom and I unloaded. Sorry, I don't mean to give too much information away, I definitely won't. But I had diarrhea like crazy, like water, just straight out, and it was a bit uncomfortable at first, I'm not gonna lie. I was a little bit worried, so I went and I checked the Medical Medium webpage, and I wanted to see what he said about that, to see if there was anybody else that experienced those symptoms, and to see if there was like a reason for it. And this is what the website says about diarrhea. This is a normal detox reaction that some individuals who have higher levels of toxins may experience. Celery juice will kill off unproductive bacteria in the gut and will also help purge the liver. This can result in loose stools as the body pushes out the toxins from a very toxic liver. So it could have been that. It could also have been osmotic diarrhea, which is basically when there's imbalance of salts in your digestive tract and your body just gets rid of everything. Think about when you have like way too much magnesium citrate or like another badly absorbed form of magnesium. Yeah, that's basically what happened to me. So his recommendation is just to have less celery juice, don't have so much at once, especially when you're just starting. So I did that, and I still experienced the same things for basically, it was almost probably a week and a half to 2 weeks after I started drinking it. Like every morning I would just get rid of everything that was in my body, and it actually, like, other than it being inconvenient, it actually felt amazing. Like my stomach was so empty and so flat, and I just felt like so light and everything. But yeah, I definitely like wouldn't choose it every morning if I did have the choice. But my bowel movements for the rest of the day were totally fine. It was only that first one, or you know, that first half hour or hour after I had the celery juice that it was kind of a problem. But then beyond that, digestion was like great. So the second thing I noticed was at the gym, and I noticed that I got crazy pumps after I started having the celery juice. So I would have the celery juice on an empty stomach, you know, and then evacuate everything that I needed to, and then head to the gym. And let me tell you, like, my workouts were incredible during that time that I was having the celery juice. My muscles would fill up so quickly with blood. I felt like I would warm up really fast, and I was able to just like hammer it. Like I wouldn't get out of breath. It was really, really awesome. And I do miss that. I definitely miss that about it now that I've stopped. So the reason for that is because celery, like beets, are full of naturally occurring nitrates, and those are basically vasodilators, so they help to increase blood flow, which is a good thing. I mean, more nutrients to more parts of your body, more blood flowing, more oxygen being transported around your body. For athletes, it is amazing. But the vasodilation can also help to lower blood pressure as well, so that's another good thing. But yeah, the pumps from the celery juice, definitely my favorite benefit from drinking the celery juice. So beyond that, everything was just kind of normal as usual around here, or around here, I guess. Yeah, I did notice a slight improvement in my digestion. It was just more consistent. And then one thing that both Crystal and I noticed was that at the end of the day, after we've eaten like our huge meal and everything like that, like our big dinner, we didn't feel nearly like as bloated. Like our stomachs didn't like extend nearly as far as usual, and I just didn't like feel like uncomfortable or anything. Everything just seemed to like move through really nicely and easily. And then unfortunately, at the end of the month, my skin did break out. And I don't know if that was because of me detoxing or whatever. Every once in a while, my skin does seem to break out. And I think it has to do with me taking like large amounts of B12, but then also not being careful about like what I'm eating. Sometimes if I have too much chocolate, too much sugar, and those sorts of things, then I get breakouts. So I don't know if that was a detox, you know, from the celery juice, or just, you know, a pattern in my life. So if everything was all well and good, then why did we stop juicing celery? It went from like, I was doing it full on, to the next day, none at all. So what happened? The price on celery skyrocketed. So we were buying a case of celery, and it comes with 24 heads of celery, bigger than these. They're kind of like this size, I guess. And we were getting that for $56, organic celery. I only wanted to do it with organic celery. And one day I went there to pick up a case of celery that I got for us, and they were like, yeah, it's $113. Yeah, it was like doubled in price just overnight. So for, you know, the benefits that I was seeing from it, I just couldn't justify spending that much money. Like Crystal and I were already spending like between $6 and $8 on a celery juice in the morning with the price how it was. And then when it doubled, it would have been like, you know, $15 worth of juice each morning. And, you know, for the fact that I didn't have any really bad health, you know, problems going into it, and it didn't really like solve anything at all, I just didn't see keeping up with it for that price. However, I did notice today when I went back to the store, the price has gone down a bit, so I'm gonna ask about another case, and I might get on the celery juice again. So with all that out of the way, I bet you guys are like, man, I just want to make my own celery juice right now. And I actually love the taste of it. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I can't handle it. And Anthony Williams recommends putting like a half an apple or a few slices of apple or something in there to help with the flavor. But I think it's awesome just as it is. I really don't mind it. So today I'm going to be showing you how we can make this without using a juicer. So this is the juicer that we were juicing our celery with every morning. It's a slow juicer by Ventre. These guys actually sent this juicer to me for me to try out, and I just want to give them a shout out and thanks for doing that. You can use any juicer to do it, but I know not everybody has the luxury of having a juicer, so I'm going to show you how to make celery juice using a blender. So to do this, you're going to need celery, you need a knife, you need a blender, but you also need a strainer, and you could use one like this. However, it's much more effective if you have something like this, which is a hemp nut milk bag. And it's basically just a hemp bag, not to be confused with a bag of hemp. Alright, so this is really simple. After you wash the celery, you don't want to stick it in there whole, because if you stick it into the blender whole, the long strands of the celery is going to get all caught up in the blade and everything, and you know, tie everything up, and then it's not going to work. So what you want to do is just chop the celery up into fairly small pieces. So then what you want to do is just get it all into the blender. I think I chopped up too much. And then you just want to add half a cup to a cup of water to it to help everything blend up. And then just blend it up. Alright, and this is obviously where the strainer comes into play. So I'm going to do it into this big glass bowl here just so you guys can see it a bit better. And you can see some of it straining through already before I've put any pressure on the bag. So these hemp bags are really nice because you can really reef on them as well. There's some bags out there that are made of like silk and other things, and they're pretty delicate and they fall apart easily, but you can see here, it can just wring this right out, and hemp is so strong. Oh man, is this gonna work? Oh yeah. So there's all the fiber that we're left with, and usually fiber is a good thing, but when you're trying to have something healing like this drink, removing the fiber from it isn't such a bad thing, especially if it's not a super sugary drink, like if it's not just like straight pineapple juice or whatever. Celery is pretty low glycemic, so totally cool to have without the fiber like this. But it's actually amazing how dry this is. This is like way drier than any juicer ever makes the pulp. So it's actually a really effective method. And it's fast too, way faster than the juicer. And of course with this you could like put it in soups if you really wanted to save it. If you're really starving for fiber, but you know, I'll probably just put it in the compost. So there's the healing elixir, and in order for it to be effective, you actually have to chug it all in one go. So here we go. No, I'm just kidding. You don't at all. Definitely sip it, take your time enjoying it, swish it around in your mouth a little bit, get those saliva juices flowing. Nothing like a $6 glass of green. So that's it for this video. I'm definitely curious to hear your opinions and your thoughts on celery juicing. Have you guys had any experiences with it? Definitely leave it in the comments down below. Let me know what you thought of this video. Hit the like button if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more from me. If you haven't subscribed yet, I definitely appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate it every single time. So much love and gratitude for what I'm doing here and getting to share it with you guys. So I'll see you soon with another video. You guys gotta see my audience here. Check this out. Just stares. Just watches the whole time. You're my coach, aren't you, Kookie?